Okay. Okay, so we might be live again, and I have to do a whole bunch more technical stuff now. I don't know why this is doing this. I don't understand. If you are technical and you had an idea of why this is doing this, I would really love, love, love your thoughts. Okay, so we are back. We are live, and we're going to have to repost everything. Everything has to be redone now. Woohoo! Good, good, good. All right, so here's what needs to happen. One thing at a time. Here we go. All right, here we go. Upcoming. That one is not the right one, I don't think. I should go to live stream. Go there. Okay. 1 second, guys. Technical difficulties. We are working on it, I promise. Okay, here we go. Let's talk. Good, good, good. And I'm going to edit the stream. Let me put this link, copy this link. And there we go. Okay, so hold on 1 second, guys. I got some more technical stuff I got to do now because, you know, technology is not my friend this morning. All right, so what needs to happen is I need to go this way. I should have known that things were going too easy this morning, man, right? This is not cool. Go back. Why won't this go back? Man, this guy's streaming live, and he's got 122 people watching him right now. He's got 144 likes. Wow, this is something. All right. We're not comparing because we're just doing our own thing. Let's do this. I need to just put a link here. Hold on 1 second. All right. In the comments, we're going to put the link. Okay. So sorry. Technical difficulties. Here is the link. New stream. Okay. Done. Okay. Now, let's see what we got. We got nothing here. Let's see. Changed. Okay. Okay, here we are. So we have got to do some technical stuff because I go in here like 30 minutes before everything starts, and I set up this whole live stream. I do the description, I do all the stuff, and when I have to stop the live stream and start over, then I got to do everything all over again. So if you'll just bear with me and give me a second, I'll get it done. It's just going to take a second. Just going to take a second. Okay, little housekeeping real quick. Copy and get up here to the top. Paste. All right, now this, I'm going to copy the whole thing to here. Copy. And paste it right in there. Paste. All right. We are making progress. Let's talk. Invalidation. Invalidation. One of these days, guys, one of these days, I'm going to hit go live and everything is just going to work great. It's going to be awesome. Today is not that day. Today is not that day. All right. So I'm just going in and I'm editing the video here so that you have the description. You have all of the links in the video description. I always put links to resources that might be helpful for y'all. So that means 211, Obviously, if you're having a mental health crisis and you need immediate help, then you would call 911. That's our first go-to. But I always try to put other resources. Review mirror is in the picture. When I'm looking right now, I don't see the rear view mirror at all in my live stream. I'm not really sure. Goldfly, I don't really know what you're looking at. Oh, but my shoe is definitely in the picture. Wow, that's lovely. Let's get the shoe out of the picture. Okay. And one of these days, I'm gonna get it all right. See, nobody knew I was actually a singer. Here I am, sharing my talents all over the place here. Okay, it was better the other way around. This way is better. Okay. Oh, dear heavens to Betsy. This is fun. Okay. A little bit more. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. You can see my computer, but that's okay. You can see more of me. You can see the pond. And believe it or not now, those beautiful ducks that just came in the live stream, the last one, and caused our whole thing to explode, they've gone away now. So now we have no ducks. No ducks. See the mirror. Can I twist it upward? Twist what upward? I don't know what you mean. Twist. But I'm looking at the stream. I am viewing the stream right now. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so it is what it is. I got to finish editing here. Let's keep editing. All right, for you that are going to watch the replay, my deepest apologies. This is really, really something. We'll do a thumbnail later. That'll be fine. And here's the description. We want all of those. NAMI is one of the links that I put in there. And I have to tell you, I have had so many people tell me that NAMI is really, really helpful. So that's the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And it's not just a support group. Okay. So we'll talk about NAMI just for a second too, before I go on with my life here. NAMI offers, yes, support groups. They offer peer-to-peer counseling. And they offer classes, different classes at different locations. So I think you have to go on their website and NAMI.org, NAMI.org, and you can check out their stuff. All right, so I'm just saving all this stuff right now, and so that the live stream has what we need here. Save, save, save. That should update our description. The next thing that we want to do is just pop in our tip jar right here. And if you guys will notice, I don't ever talk about the tip jar. Okay. Oh, look, we have a link to the tip jar. Wow, that's so great. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, let's pin this. The tip jar is there. Just, you know, if you ever feel like helping out this community, that would be really, 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 really awesome. It's not something that I'm going to beg for and ask every stream, but it's a reality of life. You know, tips are everywhere. Tip jars are everywhere. Obviously, I know that everyone is going through stuff. Everyone, a lot of people are having a hard time financially right now, and I get that. And I would never want to take away from people that need food and, you know, basics. I get that. But if you happen to have a little extra that you wanted to put somewhere that would go to a good use, building this community, I think, would be a good place for that those resources to go. So there's definitely would be a big help to me if you wanted to help the community. And other ways you can help real quick. We have 14 subscribers. We're getting there, guys. I'm so proud and happy you guys are doing it. We're getting there. So we need to get to 50. 50 is our goal. So if you can share the show and bug your friends and your neighbors and your sister and your brother and your mother and your dad and say, listen, can you just click subscribe really, really fast? It literally takes like 30 seconds. If you can just ask them if they would do that for me, I would so appreciate that. If we could get to 50 subscribers, then I don't have to do this whole like rigmarole and setup, and I'd be able to see your comments and all the things, right? But for now, we're just going to do it this way. It's working. We're doing fine. Yeah. Okay, so I need to post this link real quick. I need to post it in my Facebook feed. You know what that's going to do? That's going to knock that out of there. And I'm going to have to go back to that. Can I have a new Facebook window, I wonder? I don't know if I can. Maybe I can. Let's just try 1 second. 1 second. We're going to try again. Facebook. Okay. I need to go to my post. Post. Okay. 2 shakes. Here's my post. Okay. And we need a comment. Live stream froze. New link. Paste. Posting. And I wonder if I have to put that in. Okay, good. Okay. Deep breath. A little more coffee. God is good. Today, I think it must be a little muggy outside because when I have the air conditioner set to low, it's not really so cool in here. All right. Okay, so rewind. Today we are talking about invalidation. Invalidation. So I was in the process of telling you about my Panera story. So now we have to start all over again. Sorry, guys. That's not cool. All right. So really quick recap. Last stream, I talked about podcast guy who is really maybe going to be famous someday. I'm going to talk about him so much. So we need invalidation. Invalidation. I'm trying to find a description here. Definition. Okay. That's what I want. All right. Okay. So hopefully people will find us. Otherwise, Goldfly and I will just talk away and then everybody can watch the replay afterwards. So podcast guy walks into Panera a week ago yesterday, and he comes and sits down at the table right next to us, even though the Panera is totally empty. And he sits down and he turns on his podcast in Spanish. Loud. So we're trying to work. We've been in the corner. We're trying to be out of everyone else's way. And so now this podcast is super loud. So I already told you what I did in that moment and how I handled that situation. I got my phone out. I turned it to YouTube. I found one of my favorite songs. I found the bagpipe version of that song, and I turned it on. Without my headphones, without my earplugs, my earbuds, nothing. Just turned up the volume. Louder until those bagpipes were cranking in Panera. So I was just waiting, hoping to see a social experiment if the guy would notice and maybe give him an opportunity to correct his behavior, his actions. And within 15 or 20 minutes of listening to that one song on the bagpipes over and over and over again, the man finally did get up and leave. So now, fast forward, I don't know, Goldfly, maybe he knows what day that was, but it was some day last week, maybe Thursday or Friday. I don't remember. Maybe, oh yeah, it had to be on the weekend. So it had to be Friday or maybe even Saturday. We're at Panera again because, like I said, in the other stream that froze, Panera is my go-to because I am a SIP Club member and I go there and I pay one fee for the year, and then I can have as much to drink as I want all day. Whenever they're open, I can have as much coffee, soda, etc., etc. So that's what I do. So I spend some time at Panera. So at Panera, then we can grab a coffee, we can grab a soda, whatever, and we can plug in our laptops, we can do some work, whatever. Okay, so I see that we have a couple more people joining us. If you are able and you can find your chat, that would be great. If you would just say hello, a quick hi in the chat so that I know you're here and I know your name and all those things. That would be great. So, next Panera story. We go into Panera, and I have really been doing some self-reflection about that bagpipe incident because I do have PTSD, and situations of conflict flood my brain with cortisol. And I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible, right? It's not so great for my heart to have that fight or flight mode be engaged often, because it accelerates my heart rate and makes my heart have to work so much harder. So I really try to avoid conflict as much as humanly possible. So yeah, so here we are in Panera, and I've been thinking about, like, man, was that bagpipe the way to go or not? Because it happens to me quite frequently that, people do this kind of thing. So here we are in Panera, and we sit down, we're eating our breakfast at Panera, and we were there first. Again, we were in the corner, and this guy and his wife come and sit down, an older gentleman and his wife, and they sit 2 tables away. Okay, so they're not right next door. They sit 2 tables away. And so, yeah, they sit down, and the same thing happens. The guy gets his phone, opens it up, podcast, loud, right? I'm like, oh man, here we go again. So I'm like, okay, so here we go. What should we do now? Do we be the bagpipe version again? Or do we just speak our truth, right? Like I have a legitimate need here, right? It makes my brain so crazy to have this loud blaring thing happening. It's not unreasonable to just speak my truth and just ask nicely and respectfully. That's what we would do in Canada. We just go over there and be like, hey, please, would it be okay if you just turned it down a tiny bit? So I think, okay, here, Canada for the win. I'm speaking my truth. Here I go. So I get up out of the table, and I walk over there to the guy and his wife, and I just nicely say, it's just a little loud. We're trying to work. Would it be okay if you turned it down a little bit? And he gets all blustery and he's like, oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm like, oh, okay, that was pretty good. I was able to speak my truth. There was no conflict. Wow, I'm feeling validated here, right? He heard me. So I go back and I sit down. Literally, I sit down, right? I sit down and his wife's phone rings. Oh my gosh. The wife's phone rings and she answers the phone and she puts it on speakerphone and she has it so loud, the speakerphone. Probably like half of Panera could hear her conversation. So now it's not just the podcast now, right? Now it's this whole conversation. Oh man. And I'm like incredulous, like my eyes are popping out, right? And I'm looking like, oh my gosh. And the guy sees me with my eyes popping out and like my jaw hanging on the floor. And he gives me this dirty look. He's like, oh, she wants us to turn it down. Oh. And he's getting like really gruff and like confrontational over his 2 tables away. And I'm like, well, yeah. And so like he starts getting escalatory. And he starts getting a little nasty. And Kale is over here beside me. And he's like getting, a little upset. And the whole thing is like escalating. And now the cortisol is flooding my body. And I'm doing the exact same thing that I wanted to avoid, conflict and bad for my heart and all these things. And I'm just like, oh man, why is this happening to me? So yeah, it ended up that they ended up getting up and leaving. The wife was very very sad and upset too, because her husband then was like being rude. And she was like trying to give me the peace sign and like try to smooth things over. But yeah, so that was my latest Panera experience. Same old thing, right? Same old thing in consideration of others. And we're going to tie that back in. It happened again just yesterday at the laundromat. Same story. I don't know what that was at the laundromat. The lady was, I don't know. Everybody has a right to do their own thing. And, I came up with this other idea. And I'd love it. I'd love to have your take on it. Because Goldfly didn't think it was such a hot idea. But I'd be willing to do it. And that's what we could use the money in the tip jar from. We can take the money from the tip jar and we can buy headphones, little headphones from Five Below. They're only $5. So we should try it. It should be a social experiment. So if you want to help me with this social experiment and you want to put $5 in the tip jar to buy some headphones, that would be amazing. Okay, so it looks like right now you can't really see the lake very well, can you? I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, so this is my new, so I've already tried the bagpipes, I've tried the confrontation, so now we're going to just trying to be helpful. So that's what we're going to try next. I'm going to go to Five Below, I'm going to buy some headphones, and so when that situation occurs next, I'm going to just offer the headphones to the person, and we're going to see what happens, right? So it's going to be a social experiment. So stay tuned for an update on this crazy social experiment. I was at Five Below yesterday. I should have got some. I'm going to have to go back and get some. No description has been added to this thing. I wonder why that is. It should be there. Maybe if you're watching and you could say hi and say if you can see the description with all the links and everything, all my resources. Oh, they have to be there. Yeah. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. I got it. Yeah, I'm absolutely, I'm going to go and I'm going to buy some headphones and I'm going to start handing them out to people. And we're going to just see what happens. So if I don't appear for the live stream on Thursday, you'll know I tried to give somebody some headphones and it didn't go well. And then you could go to the tip jar and you could donate towards my end of life expenses. Okay. Enough craziness. Let's talk about invalidation. All right, so it ties into this. It really does, because I read this article on Facebook yesterday. And after I read the article and I was digesting this, like how this happens in my life and do I do this to people and all these things, I thought, man, it really seems to me that this ties in perfectly with what's happening at Panera and at the laundromat when people have these loud speakerphones happening. And I went on to Gemini and I asked Gemini, is this related? Like, does this make sense, what I'm thinking? And Gemini said, you are absolutely correct. It's a form of social invalidation. So let's back again, and let's start with a definition of invalidation. So here's the definition of invalidation. It is the act, so it's an action, right? It's not the person themselves. We're not doing character assassination here. We're talking about an action that can be changed, can be altered. It's a choice. So it's the act of dismissing, rejecting, or denying someone else's experiences, their thoughts, or their feeling. Okay? So I'm going to read it again, just so we all are on the same board here and we know what we're talking about. So the action of dismissing, rejecting, or denying. Dismissing, rejecting, or denying. What are we denying, rejecting, dismissing? Someone else's experiences, their thoughts, or their feelings. So we're basically sending out a vibe to that person that what's happening in your space right now doesn't matter, right? We're just pushing it aside. So that can, here on my Google, it has lots of ways that happens. It says it can be psychological and emotional, right? It can be also legal or bureaucratic. It could be like a vote, stripping a contract. It can be scientific or logical. It says in science, it would be the process of proving an argument, premise, or experimental finding to be wrong, unsound, or factually incorrect. And then you would present new evidence that would undermine the original claim. So those are some things that Google says about invalidation. All right. So what I'd like to do next is not read the whole article, because this article is super, super, super long, but I will put a link to it in the chat. I'm going to put it right here now. Here. All right. There is a link to the Facebook post that started this whole thing about invalidation. And it was so, it popped up in my Facebook feed and I thought, wow, this is interesting. And so I'm going to just read the start of the article. The title of the article was, "You are invalidating each other constantly, and neither of you can see it." So it was in the context of couples, but I believe this holds true for all of us across the board. Of course, it happens in couples because couples are together all the time, right? Or like they're the most intimate contact you have. It happens with friends. It happens with the banker. It happens probably with the person at Panera. I do it, right? Okay. I don't mean to, right? It just happens. So let's talk about it. So here's the start of the article. All right. The article starts like this. Most couples believe invalidation is something that happens occasionally. In a bad moment, a fight, a time one of them said the wrong thing and hurt the other one. The truth is closer to this. The two of you are invalidating each other dozens of times a day, maybe hundreds, in increments so small that neither of you can feel them happening. It's the water you're swimming in, right? Look at the water out there. The water you're swimming in, and like all water, it is invisible to the ones inside it. Invalidation at its core is any moment where one person's inner experience reaches toward another and is met with something other than recognition. That's it. let's take a breath here. Let's sit. One person reaches out with something, holds something out and says, here's my experience, here's my thought, here's my feeling. And the person that they're offering it to can't see it. Right? That's invalidation. Okay? All right. So let's keep going. He says, this is Derek Hart. It does not have to be cruel. It almost never is. The devastating ones are not the screaming matches, right? Okay? The devastating ones are so small and so ordinary, so woven into the fabric of a normal day that you would never think to count them. And hear me, this is an important part. Your nervous system counts every single one. We're just sitting there, right? He goes on to give an example. So let's read the example and then we'll have a little bit more of a concrete understanding. Here's what they actually look like. Your partner or someone, doesn't have to be your partner, it's written in the context of couples, anyone. So someone says they are cold and you respond, it isn't cold in here. That is invalidation. A tiny one, you didn't mean it as one. You were just stating a fact. You were stating the truth about the temperature. But what they were offering had nothing to do with temperature. What they were offering had to do with the experience of their own body. And what they got back, instead of a, oh, wow, you're feeling cold right now, was a correction. You're wrong. It's not cold. Right? Their reality got overruled. Let's get another example. He gives a next example. Someone says they had a hard day. And you respond with, here's how you can fix the problem. That's invalidation. You were trying to help, but they did not bring you that problem to be solved. They brought you themselves to be met. They wanted you to hear, I had a hard day. That's all. They brought you themselves to be met, and you skipped past that meeting of themselves and went straight to the managing. And some part of them registers that you reached for the problem instead of reaching for them. Man. That's hard. I think that this applies to both men and women, but as a woman, that right to my heart, right? You reached out for the problem instead of the person that's hurting. Okay, we're going on. Oh, another example. I love this one. Someone tells you a story. Okay, so you got a friend, you got a partner, you got whatever you want here. They're telling you a story. And you correct a detail in the middle of it. Well, that was Tuesday, not Wednesday. That is invalidation. I'm just reading the article here, guys. I'm just reading the article. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reading the article. Okay. The detail that you corrected did not matter. Just reading the article. The story was the reaching. So here we have again, they're reaching out to you with something, and you interrupt the reaching to file a tiny correction. And the message underneath your correction was that your accuracy matters more to me than your experience you're trying to share right now. We got another example. Next example, and I think this happens all the time with people in general, all the time, okay? So someone shares something that they're excited about, but you are on your phone, right? You're busy, you're doing something on the phone, which is fine and valid, but you respond, and I do this all the time. I'm so guilty of this. Guys, I'm being real, I'm being honest. That's what we do here in this channel, and I'm telling you, I struggle with this one. This is a biggie for me. So let's go back to the story again. Your partner shares something that they're excited about, and you respond with a flat, "That's nice," while looking at your phone. That is invalidation. Their joy reaches for you to share, and the joy comes back smaller than it left because nobody caught it. Okay, one more example. Someone expresses to you a worry that they have. Okay, these are great examples because they happen every day. They happen every day. I have another friend joining us. I would love it if you can and you know how to use the chat box and you could just say hi. So I would be able to recognize our friends that are spending time with us. That would be so great. Another example here. Someone expresses a worry to you. They're worried about something. They hold that worry out to you, and you tell them you are overthinking it. Invalidation, right there. Your partner says they are tired. You say, "Oh, I'm tired too." Invalidation, right there. In a quiet way, because you took the moment they offered and you turned it about yourself. Your partner says something hurt their feelings, and you explain why you did not mean it that way. Invalidation. Because you defended your intention, or instead of receiving their hurt and holding their hurt. And now they are managing, I'm just reading, they are managing your innocence instead of being met in their moment of pain. None of these are crimes. I'm just reading the article. Every one of these is a tiny no. A tiny, your inner world does not quite land here. A tiny, you are not really real to me in this second. A tiny, you are slightly alone in what you just felt. And here's the thing that makes it so hard to catch. You can't feel yourself doing it. But here's the kicker. You can feel it instantly when it happens to you. When your partner or someone else dismisses your cold, fixes your problem, matches your tiredness with their own, you feel the small sting. You can't name it. You might not even consciously notice it, but your body registers that tiny no, files it, and a little of your reaching out goes quiet. I'm just reading the article. So everybody's walking around all day and we're acutely sensitive to these invalidations, but we don't see that we're doing it to, we don't see we're doing it to those around us. It's a trap. It's a whole trap. Continuing on with the article, both people are convinced that they are the ones being invalidated because they can only feel the water hitting them, never the water that they're splashing. Both of them are keeping a record, mostly unconscious, of how often they reach and come back empty. And both records say the same thing. I'm the one who tries. I'm the one who is not met. I'm the one who is alone in this. And both records are accurate. There is truth in both records. Both people are also the reason the other record reads the way it does. Goldfly has lots and lots to say about this subject. All right. So Derek goes on to talk about more examples. And I won't read the whole article because it's a long one. It's a long one. All right. So we're going through. I'm scrolling up so you guys don't have to sit through this whole thing. All right. Okay, so here is how you can help it. You cannot stop all of it. Here we go. I'm reading again. You will never catch every tiny no. The water is too constant. But you do not have to become perfect. Yay, right? Because it's just not doable. But here's what we can do. You have to become able to see, even sometimes, the moment your partner is reaching, and you have to learn to do one different thing in that moment. All it takes is one thing that we do a little bit different, and it can change everything in the moment. When your partner says they are cold, before you say anything about the temperature, you say, "Come here, let me warm you up." Their reality is met instead of being corrected. Like, oh man, every woman wants that, right? When your partner says they had a hard day, before you fix anything, you say, "Tell me about it. That sounds so rough." You have acknowledged the person before the problem. When your partner's in the middle of a story and gets the day wrong, you just let the wrong stand because the story is not about the day. Their reaching is met instead of being interrupted. When your partner says, "I don't think anyone at work noticed," la 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 la, you put down whatever you're holding, the phone, and you say, "Man, that really hurts, doesn't it?" You don't fix it. You just meet them. That is the whole skill, catching the reach, right? Catching the reach and holding it. The good news here is that we can fix it. You've been doing it without seeing it, which means you're never cruel. You are not broken. You are not wrong for each other. I'm reading the article here again. You were just blind to the water, the way everyone is, and you can start to see it now. And once you see it, every ordinary moment in your day, the cold room, the hard day, the unfinished story, the small worry, the quiet excitement becomes a doorway that you used to walk past. A doorway where one of you reaches and the other one finally turns and says, "I see you. I'm here. You are not in this alone." That is not a grand gesture. It won't look like anything from the outside. It's just a tiny yes where there used to be a tiny no. But do enough of them and you rebuild entire relationships without ever having a single big conversation. I'm reading. I'm almost at the end. The water can drown you, but the water can also carry you. It's made of small moments either way. The only question is which direction you point them. Starting with the very next time the person you love reaches towards you and waits, without either of you realizing it, to find out if they are real. Wow, 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 wow. Full disclosure, I love psychology. I love people. I love wondering how people tick. I love trying to understand what makes us human and what makes us real. And sorry, I'm having a moment here. I'm having a personal struggle. I'm having a personal struggle because I feel invalidated. Ay, caramba. Okay. Loving and kind. Loving and kind. All right, so that's the article. What'd you think about it? We have a couple people watching. If you have thoughts or things you would like to talk about that article, now is the time. If you have a chat and you can type in that chat box and tell me what you think, that would be great. Please remember that this channel is teeny tiny. We are a little baby tiny channel. We do not have a full team of moderators that can delete your comments if they are rude and if they are hurtful. So if you could just moderate yourselves, that would be so great, right? If you could just make sure your comments are kind and loving and supportive and encouraging, even if we disagree. That, perfect segue. So last night, I got an email. Goldfly has an opinion here. He says, talk about micromanaging. That guy is the poster child. All right, so if anyone else is in the chat and would like to leave a comment to Goldfly and see what you think about that. Is it micromanaging? Let me know what you think. We're open to all ideas here. As long as they are presented kindly and respectfully, it is cool to disagree. Which brings me to this thing that happened last night with my mom, right? This channel is going to be like, everyone's going to be here like, oh man, what soap opera is she going to talk about next, right? But this is not that. So my mom, I got an email from my mom last night, and the email title was apology. I was like, what is my mother apologizing to me about? And I opened up the email and it said something like, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to send that last email to you. I was trying to send it to somebody else. So I was like, man, what email is this? Now I'm curious, right? Like, what is she sending to people? So I go back and I find the other email that she didn't mean to send me, that she apologized to me for. And I look and it's this conversation. Sorry. It's this conversation with Dr. Ben Carson. Dr. Ben Carson is very famous in the United States. He is very polarizing. He's a very polarizing person. So lots of people love him and lots of people hate him. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. We all have them. A lot of them stink. It's just a reality. So she sends me this thing about Dr. Ben Carson. And I have it here. And where'd I put it? It's in another tab. Where'd I put it? Oh, it's way over here. Okay, so Ben Carson is widely respected in the United States by lots of people. Not everyone, but lots of people. And so he's doing an interview, and he says what America needs more than anything else, more than this war, more than the economy getting fixed, more than all these things. What America needs right now is to learn how to talk to each other. That's what he says. He said that everyone has opinions, and that's totally cool. It's how we share those opinions and how we get in the habit of, if someone has a different opinion of us, instead of treating them as a friend with a different opinion, they automatically become the enemy. And we talk to them like they're the enemy instead of the friend that they really are. Or instead of the innocent person that just has an opinion that's different than ours. So I'm going to put that, I actually posted it in the community tab last night to fuel some conversation. But I'm going to put it here too so that everybody has it. Look at this. We are getting more and more technical by the second here, guys. Woo! I am going to be right up there with Steve Lookner before you know it. Steve is he's like the guy. To me, he's like, wow. He is the ultimate success. He has this great news channel, and he goes live with breaking news. And I've been watching him for years and years and years and years. When I could afford it, I was on his Patreon for a little while because I just love him to death. So he has two channels. He has one that does breaking news coverage, and he is an amazing guy on that channel. He has all these tabs, and he's showing video, and he's showing Twitter, and he's showing like all these things. And like, he just does it so well and so flawlessly. And I have no idea how he does all that. He has a studio, so he's in a dedicated room, and he has, his setup is perfect. Okay. And I'm sitting here in a van with the AC running on a very hot day in Florida, trying to make all this work. So totally not on the same level at all. I get it. But he just makes it look so easy. And guys, it's not easy to come on and do this. It's not easy. I have to tell you that by the end of this stream, almost always, I am exhausted. I'm wiped out and useless to nobody the rest of the day. I just want to go lay down and sleep because this takes so much energy out of me. But it's so worth it to me. I only do it because I believe in it. The whole point here is building a community, right? We're going to reiterate the goals here one more time. We're not going to get to all of invalidation today. I can see that. It's already 11:38. And I don't want to invalidate my daughter, who is hoping and expecting me to come over and hang out with her later today. So I don't want to invalidate her in any way. So we're definitely going to be done by noon, even though we had all the problems and all the stuff. That'll be good. And we can pick this up on Thursday. So we can talk more about invalidation on Thursday because I have a lot more to talk to you about. I have a whole AI conversation that I had with Gemini about the social invalidation that I want to talk to you about and hear your thoughts on. So that'll be Thursday. We'll go in that. Maybe I'll even have another Panera story to tell you. It's another Panera soap. Days of our lives at Panera. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm going to Panera today or not. We'll see. Okay, so we're going to reiterate the goals of this channel one more time, just so everybody's clear. And if you want to be a part of it, you can. So this channel, Caring Connections with Faith, is all about that. I want to build connections with people that are caring and kind. because too many people are walking around our world today hurting, in pain, and feeling alone. And I don't want that to happen. I know how that feels. I know how awful that is. And I don't want that to be a reality if I can do anything about it. So that's the point of this channel. Here I am, sitting here 2 days a week for an hour, trying to give an opportunity and provide some groundwork where we can build a community of people that care about each other, that love each other, and that are willing to say, I'm here. If you need someone, I'm here. I can be here for you. That's what we want to do here. That's my goal. That's my heart. I just hate the thought of people hurting and no one coming alongside and saying, you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to hurt that way all by yourself. So yeah, so if you're interested in any of that, if you're hurting and you need somebody, please, 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 please reach out. Please reach out. On my homepage is my email address. And that email address is there for a reason. It's there because I believe in connection. If you need to connect for any reason, please reach out. That email is available to you. I may not see it in the middle of the night, but if you need to reach out, please. I'm begging you. Please don't stay alone in your pain or your hurt when someone is there to hold your hand and hold your heart. Please, please, please. And if you feel like you have something to offer, right? Like I do, I've been through so many experiences and I know how bad that pain hurts. And I just want to be on the other side and be here like, you don't have to do this alone. So if that's you and you feel like you have something to offer, I would love it if you would come and be a part of our community, right? If you'll subscribe and you'll share the channel, all of that is so helpful. And we can build a community here that is safe, a safe place for people to be themselves and to be whatever they need to be in the moment. That's what we want to do. I'm still working on the Discord alternative where we can talk during the week. So for now, we're going to continue to use that public post on this channel and we can talk back and forth. If you need me there, I'm there too. So those are our two options for connections at this moment. And on that happy note, we're going to probably sign off here. I don't know if you can see the water so well or not, but there is a beautiful bird way at the end of the lake that you can't see, I don't think. He's beautiful. He's white, and I can see another little duck way out there, but I don't think you guys can see it. It's so sad. I wish it could look better. Oh well, we'll get there. We will get there. I'm going to have to just let it be. All right. So like I said, I am going to sign off now. It is Tuesday morning, which means we'll be hopping back on Thursday morning. And Thursday morning, we're going to talk some more about invalidation. We got lots more to talk about. Lots more to talk about. I wrote a whole bunch of stuff on my notebook. And we haven't covered all of it, right? So we'll do that on Thursday. So now you know what's coming. So Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't have a clue why this live stream keeps freezing. If you have any ideas about that and you could provide technical assistance so that wouldn't keep happening, that would be so helpful. You could leave a comment on this video or you could send me an email, whatever. That would be so helpful. And just one more time, really, really quick. Right now we have 14 subscribers and that's totally cool with me. But for me to do this in a more professional manner, in a way that looks better and works better and all the things, I need to get to 50 subscribers. So again, if you have a mother that has a smartphone that could you could send her the link and she could hit subscribe, and that would get us to 15 and 16 and 17 and 18, all the way to 50. That would be so helpful. If you have a sister or you have an annoying neighbor and you can just go like, can you just do this? Whatever, right? If you have to pass people on the street and be like, hey, there's this channel that helps people when they're hurting. Could you please subscribe? That would be great. I'm starting to do that. Desperation, right? Desperate times call for desperate measures. Okay, so it's 11:45. I gotta go. I have a kiddo who is waiting for me today. I wonder if you could see that bird flying. So beautiful. So I'm going to sign off. I love you guys. If you are watching the replay and you've made it this far, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. And if there's any way I can help, please reach out. I'm sending you lots and lots of love. And I want you to know that your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, they are valid. And you are amazing just as you are. And on that happy note, I'm going to flip this phone around and I'm going to end this live stream. And I will talk to you guys again Thursday morning. Lots of love to you all. Bye for now. Bye, guys.